You are listening to Get Real with Ralph. Get Real with Ralph.
On AM 1050 WLIP.
Hang on, everybody. We're going to go for a ride in just a minute as soon as I figure out what I'm doing, because I don't have the man with the plan with me here today. And I just lost my entire board as Jim Celovich is waving at me. So stand by. I lost my board. I don't see anything. I'm flying blind. Good evening and welcome to Get Real with Ralph. I am your humble host, Ralph Nudi, coming to you from the studios of AM 1050 WLIP in Gurnee, Illinois, and simulcast live from Gurnee to Kenosha to the Canary Islands and all across the world via our YouTube channel, GetRealWithRalph.com, or on our Facebook page. That's Facebook.com/Ralph Nudi, Facebook.com/Ralph Nudi. Back in a minute. And we're back. We've got our board in front of us now, and everything is A-OK here at Get Real with Ralph on AM 1050 WLIP. Welcome to the program, and boy, it just seems like every week gets a little more interesting and a little stranger than the week before. Right before I went on the air here, I was trying to figure out my displays, and I'm still a novice at working my own board. We've got Jim Celovich from home quarantining, and we're going to bring him online here, see if we can get him into the call and take it from there.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, and I can still hear Ivy, so let me get rid of Ivy, and there you are. Jim, how are you?
Good, buddy. How you doing, brother?
You know, fantastic. I lost the I lost the part of the control because I dragged it onto the wrong screen, and I had to change it from extend.
Minimized. Yeah. It was probably minimized. That
No.
was the message I was trying to get to you. Yeah.
Well, no, it wasn't minimized. It was dragged onto a screen that doesn't exist, and the only way to fix it is to go in and change my display settings, and it happened right before we went on the air, so it was kind of crazy. So
that's the joy of radio right there. That's live radio, baby.
It is the joy of radio, and I sure do miss having you here to push all the buttons so I can just focus on saying what I have on my mind. But it's a learning experience, and it's always a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, you know, if I can do it from home, I mean, sure.
You never know. We So I'm going to get right to our first guest because I have him sitting
Yeah.
on hold,
All right.
and then I'll do all my bloviating later. But
Sounds good.
that's
Check in on me later, guys. Real important stuff to do.
I will be
Until then.
dropping in
All right.
on him. Sounds good, Jim. I'll be dropping in on you in just a moment. As you know, over the last couple of weeks, we have been living some strange times trying to adhere to the safer at home order in Wisconsin, which is for over an additional month. And it seems that everybody out there is trying to balance the need to be safe with the need to get the economy going and get our lives going again at the same time. And of course, in charge of enforcing that for Kenosha County, at least in the county areas, is Kenosha County Sheriff David Beth. So I have him on the phone and I wanted to bring him on the line. Sheriff, are you there? Try that one more time. I think I'll be able to hear you.
Hi, Ralph. Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine now.
All right.
I'll tell you, operating this little board here at a radio station is like operating a spaceship that you've never flown before. And I've got Jim Selovich, who's been doing this for 30 years, quarantining at home, making sure that he keeps himself safe. Obviously, some of us have more reasons than others for having to stay home, so that's the safest place for him to be. But it's the most dangerous place for me to be in front of all these buttons.
Well, Jim is a good backup to have for anything you want to do, and I'm glad he's taking care of us in the background, and it's a pleasure to talk to you today.
So it must be a strange time from a law enforcement perspective as well, I'm guessing.
Oh my God, the last I don't even know what it is, 5-6 weeks has been. It's something different every day. It changes every day, and you really can't anticipate what tomorrow is going to bring. You have to plan for the worst, and at first we weren't really doing that. We were planning for changes. We were planning for what if, and then it's like you start up with a little snowball, and it just keeps growing and growing and growing, and we got a huge snowball going down the hill right now. So yeah, it's something different every day, and it's interesting to say the least.
What are some of the challenges that you're seeing now that you haven't seen as much of before?
Well, the big thing that has affected us this last week, and I think it was Thursday, Wednesday, something like that, I declared an emergency for staffing levels at our sheriff's department. And we have got, we had people for about the last 4 weeks who have been sick, and we actually think a few of them had the COVID-19, but there weren't enough tests around, and they never even got tested. They were just quarantined at home. And the county health department, the county human resources department, county admin, we're all erring on the side of safety. And if anyone comes into the building or calls in and says, "Hey, I got a fever, I got a cough that just started, I got all the symptoms that are on the list," we tell them to stay home until we can figure out should they be there or shouldn't they. So they start off with a 14-day quarantine. And some people have been released. They talk to the doctor, whether it be their own doctor or the virtual online doctor, and some have already come back. The one that I think a month ago had it, he's back to work already, and we've gone from that one person out to, I think today we've got about 40 people out of the sheriff's department on quarantine with symptoms ranging from a scratchy throat to, last I heard on Friday was, I think we had 7 positive people at the sheriff's department.
Seven positive employees of the sheriff's department.
Yeah, we got 7. And again, our health department, if someone comes in and just says, "I just don't feel right today," they're sending them home. I give them credit. It's a scheduling nightmare for us, but we're hoping to keep other staff from getting sick, and that's the ultimate goal here in keeping our inmates and still servicing the public with the deputies on the road. And when I declared an emergency last week, what we did, and the scheduling started today, I took all of my sworn, all the deputies, the deputy officers, the sergeants, lieutenants. I took the detectives, our drug unit. Everybody has been placed on a new schedule that we've never had here before. We copied other agencies, and it's a 12-hour work schedule. You work for 6 days in a row. You're off completely for 12, and that builds in a quarantine period. Catch something while you're working, you hopefully get rid of it in those 12 days. And then there's another 6 days that you're home, but you're on call. You have to be able to report from home within an hour, and everybody's got a take-home car so they can report to if we got a serious accident. So we've got deputies on the road. We'll have them in the courts Monday through Friday. But a lot of where we're missing people right now, it's in our detention center. And I'm trying to think, it's like 20 people of our 40 are DSOs, direct supervision officers at our detention center. And we're cutting it close. I know they just closed another dorm. We told our deputies that you may have to go in and work in the jail because we're shorthanded in the jail. So everybody's kind of all hands on deck on this one.
Yeah, I can imagine that it would be all of the jobs in a department that people earn over time that are maybe a little less street heavy, but also less essential. I imagine that in times like this, it is all hands on deck, and you have people on the road that haven't been on the road in a long time, and so on and so forth. Would that be an accurate statement?
Absolutely. I've got people, and I don't want to say they're terrified, but we've got new computer systems. We've got writing citations. It's all done on a computer now. And there's a lot of us that have been around for a while, have been off the road. We've never written a citation on the computer. We've never written a report on the computer as far as what the deputies on the road do.
Yeah, they're going through their briefcase trying to find those old 3-part carbons, and they're not there anymore, right?
That's exactly it. You're exactly right. And I asked them, I said, can we still do this? And our computer people are like, no, you have to do it. You have to do it on the computer. You have to do it in New World. You have to do it on tracks. You have to do all this stuff. I'm like, oh, man. So we've got deputies and detectives that have not done this for a while that are nervous. They're going to do a great job. I'm not worried about that part, but they're nervous about the new technology that's there. So
sure, from a community policing standpoint and dealing with the public, human psychology doesn't change. But now it's kind of like me today behind this board here, pushing a bunch of buttons I've never pushed before, and it's scary to even somebody who's I'm on the tech savvy side a little bit more than most. But this is a piece of equipment that prior to 4 weeks ago I never touched in my life, and every little mistake, every little delay is heard on live radio. So there are no do-overs, and that's the same thing when you're a cop on the street. There are no do-overs with that stuff. But the writing, the paperwork part, you get a do-over on that at least.
They know what to do. Everyone out there is really good. The people who got promoted are detectives that haven't done this well. I mean, they're the ones that follow up and do everything after our deputies, and they get stuck. So they know what to do. It's just actually getting into the computer, kind of like what you're struggling with. Maybe we can get Jim out there to help back us up, and we can have him on call. But that's what we're doing right now. Today was our very first day. It started at 6 o'clock in the morning, and it goes till 6 o'clock at night, and then the second 12-hour shift starts. They should have started a little while ago. They should be 2 hours into it.
Well, those sound like the type of shifts that I was a law enforcement specialist in the Air Force, and it was a long time ago now, so long ago that now my son's in the military. But I remember working 12 when you had wartime exercises, or any time we were in a higher threatcom level or something like that. You would go from working an 8-hour shift in a normal rotation to 12-hour shifts, but your rotations would be shorter for whatever reason, or you'd work an extended period of time and then have an extended period of time off. So it does take some adjustment. Suddenly you're working a different schedule. Your sleep schedule might change as you go from working second shift to working 6 at night to 6 in the morning, which is an even longer shift. So there's a lot of challenges, and I feel for you and your guys that are but it makes a lot of sense to do the things that you're doing. I imagine the jails are probably a little emptier. You have people that don't need to be there out if they can be at home or on some sort of house arrest or home confinement. How does that work?
Well, if you want to go back to 6 weeks ago, we had about 850 people in our jail. And when this whole thing started, we met with all the leaders of county government, county HR, and also my command staff. And we sat and we talked about, okay, we have to limit the people that come into our jail. And we told immigration, we told U.S. Marshals, probation, state probation and parole, our agencies within the county, our law enforcement agencies. And we told them, limit who comes in. For marshals and immigration, the detainees, we said no more new people until this whole thing gets sorted out. Immigration didn't really like that. And they said, well, if you don't take – and we would get people right off the plane from other countries, and they would put them in our jail. I said, we're not going to do this. And they said, well, if you're not going to do it, we're going to pull out our people. We said, okay, if that's really the route you want to take, that's fine. And they did. And they took 170 detainees out within 36 hours of us saying we're not going to take them. And it really was a godsend to us, because what that did is it freed up blocks for us so we could actually, as new inmates came in from, you have someone that you have to put in jail, they're felons, and we put them in the jail. We can quarantine them for 14 days in open cell blocks. And then we work with the judges, and judges says if anyone in your jail has a bond of $500 or less, we'll reduce that to a signature bond. And we also took our Hubers and anyone else. We went through all the people that were left in the jail and said, okay, who is not a risk to society and minor crimes? And we put them on electronic monitoring, and we've reduced. Again, 6 weeks ago, we were 850. We're about 425, about half of what we were 6 weeks ago in our jail. And so that has helped us create open space, spread people out for quarantines. And our staff has been really doing a fantastic job, whether it be in the jail, making this work, and really all of our sworn with what we're doing right now, too. There's been really no complaining. Everybody realized this is a different time, and I couldn't be any more proud of the staff. I don't care what department you're in on ours. We have about 400 employees at the Sheriff's Department, and every one of them has done exactly what's been asked of them with really no complaints.
Well, that's pretty remarkable. I imagine the jail must almost be a scarier place to be right now than the road as far as being afraid of contracting the virus, because you're in close quarters with people for more extended periods of time. And then I'll bet the second highest risk is having to go into a home on a domestic or something like that. Are you seeing different types of calls come in than normal, more domestic or more calls that are related to people being stuck at home and getting fed up with each other?
Well, that's what we thought we were going to see. And to tell you the truth, our calls for service have gone down since this started. Our calls have gone down about a third since people have been staying home, less accidents, less traffic on the roads. So that has helped us too. That has helped us to manage different shortfalls or possibly what's coming down the road for us. Things are working out in our favor.
That's very encouraging to hear, and it says something positive about. I don't think just our community, but I think the community at large, that even though people are angry, even though people are second guessing how long and how severe these quarantines are, and myself, I'm one of them. I question things. I comply, but I question. And I think that's important. I think most people that are questioning are also being compliant, even though they are questioning. And that's what makes America so great. And any other country, as soon as there's a discourse, they feel like they have to smack them down and shut them up. But really, I think some of the conversation, some of the questioning will help guide those decisions so they're not completely unilateral all the way through. But while we're questioning it, I've noticed that people are kinder to each other in general, and they seem to be looking out for one another.
Yeah, I agree. When the few trips I've made to the store to pick up the groceries for the week, have to make a few runs to do something. People are there. Everybody's kind of keeping their distance when you go into the store. I go in at odd hours, so it's definitely not busy. But everyone keeps their space. They are polite, and we've had a few calls where people have said, "Hey, at the dog park, there's 20 people sitting at a picnic table talking," and so we send a deputy over there. We say, "Hey, you're not supposed to be grouping up," and it's not a lot. We've not received a lot of phone calls, but people have been very cooperative, and we've had zero issues.
And people are improvising, and I'm glad to see that that's allowed to happen, at least here in Kenosha County, Wisconsin. Last week, I covered a story where a mayor sent his police force out to a church having a drive-in church service to start citing everybody who pulled up $500 a piece just for pulling into a parking lot. And I'm looking around, and I'm thinking about all the places that cars are congregating anyway when there isn't a church service going on, such as in Kenosha, the Big Star, or at a grocery store or at a liquor store, and it seemed a little draconian to me to see that going on. And even though this got extended longer in Kenosha, I don't feel as though people are being told what they can and can't do completely. There's a group of moms that I noticed that parked in a parking lot in an undisclosed location, and they would kind of caravan their cars in a circle and sit on their tailgates a safe distance apart, probably just to have some human interaction, and yet still stay safely apart. I've got the show here. I have less guests and less people working in here. I have a musical guest about 6 feet from me today. So I think people are finding ways, and if they're allowed to use their own common sense, I think people generally do. And it's good to see that local government is cooperating with people and letting people make some of their own decisions, because I think when people feel like they can't be trusted with their own decisions, that's when they start to go off the rails a little bit.
Well, I agree with you. And we live across the street from Brightondale Golf Course, and we walk over there. We ride our bikes. We've taken a drive through there just to see what's going on. And just the other day, we went in, and there were 3 cars in one of the parking lots. Everybody was like about 20 feet apart, and there were 3 people sitting on the tailgate, like you just said. They had they were the SUVs, had the back things, and they're talking. And I thought, what a great way to go. See your friends, and we've been one thing that we've been doing is Zooming each other, and I don't know how to do it, but my family sets it up, and we actually have seen our family, my wife's family, who are scattered throughout the country, more the last 4 or 5 weeks not face to face, but on the Zoom, than we have in years. And it's been really kind of nice.
Isn't that crazy? We're doing the same thing in our family. We're having Facebook video calls and Zoom calls, and our kids are having Zoom calls with other kids. And I've been using this technology for work for a while because we have people all over the country that we collaborate with. But I've never used it in a social setting until now. And it's not the same as person-to-person interaction, but that is the strange benefit, is that suddenly we're interacting with people that we normally don't get the chance to from further away because life has slowed down so much. And there is a blessing to having life slow down a little bit.
Yeah, and I'm going to take it even further. I mean, here, our kids, I've got a daughter who's a senior at Central High School and a son who's a sophomore at Central. And we would run from wrestling to tennis to softball, and every night you're running and running and running. And
I'm raising my 4th wrestler, so I feel your pain.
But this last month or so, since the school's been closed, every person has a night to make dinner. My son, he lucked out. He got leftover chicken and some rice-a-roni and something else for some leftovers from last night. He made dinner with that. My wife did it last night. We went out fishing today. We have a little pond behind our house. We went out fishing today. My daughter and son went for a bike ride down the driveway over to Brightondale. And my son helped me do a few things back at our horse farm today. So we're doing things with the family that we've done, but every day we're doing something. Every day we're playing a game. We did Wii bowling. We did tennis. And I found out that I really stink at Wii bowling. And my kids and wife crush me every time. So all these different things that or before because of time, that part I'm really enjoying. The being with them and seeing them, and I'm loving that part. And I'm fortunate. I'm still considered essential, even though maybe my employees don't think I am. I'm still considered essential. I still get paid. I understand that there are people out there that are not getting paid, and this is a terrible situation for them, and I understand that part too.
There's definitely going to be some financial devastations here, and I hope that other people are able to look at their blessings in the face of financial devastation, and face whatever comes next, not with fear, but with gratitude for what they didn't lose, so they can rebuild the things that they did lose, because it certainly isn't easy for people out there. And I'm married to a school teacher, so same thing. She's still getting paid. That's a wonderful thing. I'm in real estate, so that all depends on whether or not somebody's going to buy something or not this week, of course. But it's definitely a time to pull together. We're frequenting as many local businesses that are doing curbside pickup or delivery as possible throughout the week, because these are our friends that own these businesses and in the community, and we hate to see them suffer, and we want to do the best that we can for them as well.
Yep, I agree with you. We've done a few of those, and usually during the sports season, which I know you understand, it's stopping at McDonald's, it's stopping at the Burger King, or after a meet or a tournament, you run to out here, maybe, one of the restaurants. And it's a little bit slower for us now, and we haven't been hitting as much, but we are still going and hitting some of the places, and that part's been good. It's amazing how when you don't do it for a month, when you don't go to a restaurant for a month and actually sit there and have people wait on you, you miss that. You miss just not having to do the dishes after you get done or going to pick it up. You just go and sit and leave. Yeah,
the best you can do now is bring home a pizza and put it on paper plates, because otherwise you're doing. I've never done so many dishes in my life, and I haven't done much compared to my wife and kids, but still. And then you find your concentration has changed, or everybody being at home makes it harder to concentrate and finish things, because the only thing I've been able to finish at home is a meal.
We have been, no. The kind of nice thing is they're all helping me. And again, I live on a farm, and we have horses, and we have to go feed them twice a day. And the kids are normally they don't help me that much. They're getting ready, they're doing homework, they're heading out in the evening, or they're getting ready for school. So I'm up at 4:30 in the morning, going and taking care of everything. And now they're helping me, and they're doing it. My son was out helping fix some things and take a fence down and fix a tree that came down. They're all helping do stuff. So in my world, my family is helping much more, and kind of watching them do stuff here has been, I've loved it. I've loved that part of the last 4 weeks. The fact that my oldest one, this is her senior year, she's missing softball. She's missing, prom and the different parts that go along with your senior year, all that excitement. But being selfish, she's going to be leaving next fall for going to UW La Crosse. I get this last month for that part has been pretty special.
Yeah, that's got to be difficult for the senior. I have a senior in high school as well, and I have no idea what they're going to do graduation-wise or anything like that. But it seems that all the high school drama things that are so important seem so much less important even to them when we're worried about our world at large. And overall, this could be a net positive, I think, for our communities and for our country if we all remember what we went through here together, and we take that with us after this crisis has ended.
This is going to be life-changing for all of us. This is going to make us rethink how we do business, how we keep in touch with our families. I'm hoping, even this Zoom that we do, hopefully we keep that going with our families and our friends. Hopefully our friends we can see more often and have the backyard campfires and do things like that. But even, maybe we won't live so much the day by day in the running. I mean, I know you're exactly the same way with two very active kids, and my third one is 32 years old with a grandchild. All you do is run every single day. They do it, and this is giving us a chance to kind of take back something that we lost years ago. My wife has gone through photo albums and brought up things the kids did when they were small, and you forget about that stuff, and it's given us a chance to kind of relive part of it. But it's going to be interesting to think how our kids, our seniors right now, are going to look back at this 10 years from now and think about how their high school career ended. And I wonder exactly how that's going to change how they think of things.
I think these are stories that our kids are going to tell our grandkids the way our grandparents talked to us about the Great Depression. I really do.
I think you're right.
I really think that this is going to have such a, my children, I have 6 of them, range from 3 years old to 21 years old, from being a toddler to being in the Navy. And I can't imagine anything ever having a greater impact on lives all the way around. Even 9/11, 3,000 people died in a matter of hours, in a matter of days. And that was a horrible thing, and it changed the entire mood of our country. But not nearly as many people were personally affected, had their lives personally disrupted for as long of an amount of time. And not nearly as many people died as are dying from this. And not nearly as many people were affected financially as are being affected by this. And it's hard to say what the future holds. A lot of the economists predicted that this was the catalyst for a bubble to burst anyway. We'll have to see if they're right. But regardless, I can't see anything having a more profound impact on life as we know it. And for generations, the story will be told, and we can only pray that we take the positive out of this and make life and our culture and our society a better place for it when we're done.
Yep, I couldn't agree with you more. Hopefully that is the things to remember. I'm sure it depends on, for me, what I'll probably remember 5 years down the road after I retire, that all the hard work and what everybody did at my department to make things function and to make sure that we were protecting our community and guarding our inmates, doing everything we're supposed to do. They're doing it. And I'll remember how close our family is during this time. And it's not just watching them on a tennis court or a softball field. It's actually being with them and going for the bike ride and doing all the things you had children for, and you're doing it with them again. So this is, hopefully these are the memories I'll carry with me 5 years from now, and all the headaches that go into it, those will kind of pass to the side. And we'll see. I guess we'll see in 5 years or so.
Well, Sheriff, thank you so much for weighing in on this. I know that you have a very busy schedule here doing all this, and we appreciate everything you do for our community, and hope to have you on again soon.
Yeah, anytime, Ralph. Thank you, and you have a great week.
Thank you. Again, that is Kenosha County Sheriff David Beth, and we'll be back with Jim Salovich and our musical guest, Ben Moana, after the break.
Live, and local. Kenosha's radio station for news, talk, and sports. Turn on AM 1050 or WLIP.com.
Kim, Lindsay, and the staff at Triangle Flooring, Furniture, and Appliance Center are here for you and want you to know that Paul and his techs are available too for any appliance repair or service you may need. Your family safety is of utmost importance, and they're taking all the proper precautions entering your home. If you just need parts, Triangle's huge parts department can help there too. But if unfortunately your washer, dryer, fridge, freezer, or microwave is beyond repair, Triangle can help. Stop in and they'll be glad to help you choose the perfect appliance. But please call first, because store hours may vary day to day. Unfortunately, Triangle's flooring, furniture, and window treatment showrooms are temporarily closed, but you can check out all the options online. Call anytime for a free estimate or to schedule an in-home consultation. Spring sale prices are still in effect, and of course, delivery is always available. Triangle Flooring, Furniture, and Appliance Center, 5 miles east of Highway 50 at 39th Avenue, Kenosha.
12-month free financing available to qualified customers with our own Triangle credit card.
Are you looking for the hottest places to have a dinner date or the coolest places to grab a drink and appetizers with friends? Well, 262 Eats has it all. 262 Eats is a local food show that features the best the area has to offer. Watch Ralph Nudi as he samples the food, interviews the owners, and takes you inside and behind the scenes of the favorite places of locals and travelers alike. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to win prizes, gift certificates, and get special discount offers. That's 262 Eats.
Prime rib of beef, bone-in veal schnitzel, the Wurst trio, mint kraut, and the creamy Parmesan salmon filet. Hi, this is Bill Lawrence reminding you that our friends at House of Gerhard are open for business. If you're craving Gerhard's delicious food, they're open for lunch and dinner takeout, and if you like curbside services available, they'll bring it right out to your car. Lunch from 11 till 3 and dinner from 3 till 7, Monday through Saturday. Baked French onion soup, Bavarian pot roast, Hungarian goulash served with red cabbage. Most of House of Gerhard's amazing menu is available, but just check their Facebook page every day to see their lunch and dinner specials. And do not forget one of their amazing desserts and ice cream drinks too. You could carry those out. Not to mention bottles of wine or beer are available for your dining pleasure as well. So give them a call, 694-5212. That's 694-5212 to place your carry-out order. The family and staff at House of Gerhard's thank you and say Prost to all their customers and friends.
Howdy, folks. Colonel Sanders here. In times like these, there's nothing more comforting than comfort food you don't have to cook. So get a $20 fill-up from KFC. Choose from 8 pieces of original recipe or extra crispy chicken, or get 12 tenders. Comes with all the fixings to feed your whole family. Order ahead at KFC.com. Our drive-thrus are still open, or stay in and get free KFC delivery by Grubhub. With Bucket to Love, Colonel Sanders. Participating locations only. Prices may vary. Taxes, substitutions extra. Free delivery exclusively by Grubhub for a limited time. Additional fees apply. Terms apply. Participating KFCs on Grubhub.
O'Reilly. When you need auto parts, O'ReillyAuto.com is just a few clicks away. We offer convenient options for you to get your parts quickly. Order online and pick up for free at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store. We'll even bring it out curbside. Or you can have your parts delivered right to your door with free shipping on most orders over $35. Visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
At WLIP, we want to say thank you, first responders. Thank you, healthcare workers. Thank you, delivery drivers. Thank you, working long shifts at grocery stores and warehouses. Thank you for being on the front lines. AM 1050 WLIP. AM 1050 WLIP Kenosha County Radar Weather. Sponsored by
Mason's Eatery and Pub. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner now available 7 days a week by curbside pickup or touch-free delivery. To place an order, call 262-925-3330 or go to masonsbar.com. Masons, just west of Green Bay Road on Highway 50, Kenosha.
Tonight, mostly clear with a low of around 32. Monday, mostly sunny with a 20% chance of showers in the afternoon and a high near 56. Monday night, partly cloudy with a slight chance for rain late in the evening. And then Tuesday, sunny with a high near 48. Weather twice an hour when severe weather strikes on Kenosha's radio station, AM 1050 WLIP.
This is not a drill.
This is real.
Get real.
Get real with Ralph.
You are listening to Get Real with Ralph. Get Real with Ralph.
On AM 1050 WLIP.
And we're back on the air here. And the buttons aren't working again. Here we go. And I have on with me Jim Selovich here. Jim, go ahead and weigh in. Let's see if we can hear you at least.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
What's happening? Can they hear me?
They can hear you. I can hear you.
They can hear me. All right.
We've got Jim joining us via Zoom here. And,
Zoom, baby.
Zoom, baby, Zoom. And glad to have you on the... every week I think I've got this. encounter a new problem that I've never done before. So we're getting it figured out.
That's how we learn, Ralphie. That's how we learn, buddy.
But
Trial and error.
You're throwing me a little music from afar here, and what the heck you throwing me here, little Captain Tennille, huh?
Well, it was released on this day, 1975. Love Will Keep Us Together. Also, I send you some Ricky Nelson as well. And Prince had 2 top 10 hits back in this day. Back in this day in 1986, Prince has And Manic Monday by the Bangles.
Oh, that's right, because he did write that. So he had two hits,
yep.
one that he wrote and one that he was playing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty cool little trivia question.
And I remember the spring of '86 very well because I was on spring break down in Daytona. Drove all the way down, 22 hours straight from Kenosha down to Daytona Beach. It was MTV's first spring spring break that they had down there, and it was a party and a half. Let me tell you what, brother, that song was big.
I did a couple of spring breaks in my in my military days down in South Padre Island, and those were some of the wildest days of my life.
I can only imagine. We won't be doing that anytime soon, it looks like.
No.
But we do our own little beach party if we want to, right?
No spring breaking, but we do have we do have a little music break here in our studio. We've got Ben Moana here sitting eagerly at the microphone. Say hi, Ben.
Hey, how you doing?
Fantastic. By the way,
what's up, Ben?
Anytime you see that light in red, that means that you're hot, man. So, All
right, gotcha.
We don't have to worry about Ben saying anything too crazy. So, Ben, you're a musician in the Kenosha area and a very talented one. That's why we invited you to be on the show.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming. And you've lived here for how many years?
I've lived in Kenosha now for just under 8 years.
Gotcha.
Yeah, under 8 years. I lived in D.C. for about a year and a half.
D.C. is like a foreign country compared to Kenosha, isn't it?
Yeah, very, very foreign compared to. But I do like Kenosha. It reminds me more of home, so I like it.
So Kenosha reminds you of home, and home is Uganda, right?
Uganda, East Africa, yes.
So what are the similarities between Kenosha, Wisconsin, and Uganda? Because now you've got me interested.
I think it's the people. I think how nice the people are. In DC, and I do love DC, but it doesn't have the warmness or the hospitality that that Kenosans have. Kenosha feels like a small village almost, and that's more my speed.
You've got a little more of a transient population in DC. Nobody's really from there, and I think that's probably why people are a little less friendly because they're not connected to their own roots there. Like they are in a town here where we were talking before you came on the air about the fact that my family's been here for 4 generations, and now you're a first generation American. So someday maybe your great grandparents will be saying that their family has been here for 4 generations.
Yeah,
you just don't know.
Yeah.
So you got to start playing music in childhood?
No, my dad worked for a company called World Vision. It's a great NGO. It's a global NGO, and so we moved around a little bit, but one of the places it put us was Nairobi, Kenya. And I started playing music there actually only because this is a girl I was talking to that said, I really like guitar players. And I didn't know how to play guitar at that point. So I went home and did my homework just so I could talk to her. And that's when I started playing music.
So you learned how to play guitar for a girl.
Yep, that's it.
Well, let's... We're going to have to see how those skills worked out for you. Did you get the girl, or you got a different one now?
You know what? I am married now, not to that girl, but it worked out really good.
And what's the first song you wrote?
The very first song I wrote is actually "Home." Is a song I'll maybe play for you guys later, but it's called "Home." I didn't write it all in one day. That's I think. Why it's the first song I ever wrote. I wrote verse by verse until I was able to say, okay, I think this is, I think I'm comfortable with how this sounds. And yeah, that's the first song I wrote.
Gotcha. And you got a couple of them set for us tonight.
Yeah.
So we've got time for you to do one before we go to the break, at least one. And then, of course, we've got some chit-chat going on back and forth between you, me, and Jim here. And then after the top of the hour, we're gonna really plug you in and have you show us your chops. So
sure, yeah.
What are you gonna start out with?
You know what? Let me start. Why don't I start with that song? We just talked about it, so why not?
All right, fantastic, ladies and gentlemen.
And if they say home, what is has been arrested? Then what if your heart, it has been broken 1,000 different ways? Don't let the time steal your memories. Just search and find yourself in this melody. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Sounds like familiar loving. Sounds like the song of home I know. Might be home all along, you never know. You never know. The roads feel the same. So if you've forgotten, then the stories that you tell are all in vain. But every marker, it holds a meaning. So we got closer every mile you drove away. Sing, ooh, sounds like familiar loving. Sounds like the song of home I know. Might be home all along, you never know. You never know. You see, home's not a place, it's a feeling. Whom you love, that's where you belong. And good times, they're not the past, they're a feeling you have, 'cause you're not alone. 'Cause you're not alone. Sounds like familiar loving. Sounds like the song of home I know. Might be home all along, you never know. You never know.
Woo!
Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful song. And that's the first one you wrote when you wanted to get the girl, huh?
No. That's not the one I wrote. No,
That's not the one you wrote. Okay.
No.
So tell us about this song. What is it?
This song "Home" is a song that reminds me of. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm from Uganda and I've been in the USA now, closing up to 10 years. And this song was actually inspired by my mom. Like, when you've been away from a place for so long, I haven't been back to Uganda since, and I'm hoping after all this madness ends, I'm able to go back and visit my family. But when you've been far away from a place for so long, you start to forget, what familiar things are. You start to forget, what your country, feels like, smells like, what the food smells like, what the people are like. And you have to work so hard to hold on to just little things that will remind you of it. And for me, it was my mom's voice. She used to hum a tune that, it sounds like...
And you turned it into your own song.
Yeah, so I thought, what, that really, really reminds me, and it's one of the things that really does feel like home. It's one of those hums that it didn't have words, but it made you more sad if you were sad, or made you more happy if you were happy, or even made you angry and you wanted it to stop, but you just didn't want it to stop at the same time. So I thought, what, let's write from there.
Fantastic. And now you've been playing for how long? So when you met the girl, she wanted you to play guitar. How old were you?
I was 16.
16?
I was 16 years old, yeah.
That sounds like 16-year-old life anywhere in the world.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, it is actually 16-year-old life, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Now,
I am married to a beautiful lady. She's Kendra Copen Mulwana.
Wonderful. Kids?
Yeah. Not yet.
Not yet. How are you handling the quarantine?
You know what? We're making the best of it. We both work from home, and we both love being home anyway. So, no one has gotten on each other's nerves or anything like that. And we're both kind of independent. Kendra is the type of a lady that can literally sit there and stare out the window for hours. So it's not like she could be by herself, no problem. So we're taking it easy. Some days are good. Some days can get a little rough because, you can't be outside. It's too cold. And for me, I'm talking, 45, 50 degrees is still too cold. So I just stay inside all the time.
Yeah, I don't like this weather at all.
Yeah.
That is if I could change any one thing about Kenosha, Wisconsin, it would be the climate.
100%. My family asks me all the time, because they know where I'm, so they put my location on their phones, and it's in Celsius. So sometimes they look at it and say, it's 0 degrees, Benjamin, stay inside. And they don't understand. Well, when I look, it's like, yeah, 0 degrees is pretty popular, pretty like normal when it comes to Kenosha.
Yeah, that's just a normal February afternoon around here.
That's right.
Well, we've got time for one more, so why don't we plug you in here to another song, and we'll probably play right to the top. And then when we come back, we're going to talk more with Ben Moana and Jim Celovich. So, ladies and gentlemen, here he is again with another song. What are you going to play for us?
You know what? I've been playing this song because my wife loves it. I've been playing this song. It's a cover, but she loves it, and she's like, it feels good in quarantine. Am I okay to play that?
Absolutely. All right. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Ben Moana.
This is by Whitney Houston. Clock strikes upon the hour, and the sun begins to fade. Sooner or later, figure out how to chase my blues away. I've done alright up till now. It's the light of day that shows me how. And when the night falls, the loneliness calls. The loneliness calls. Oh, I wanna dance with somebody. I wanna feel the heat with somebody. Yes, I wanna dance with somebody. With somebody who loves me. Been in love and lost my senses, spending through the town. Sooner or later the fever ends, and I wind up feeling down. I need a man to take a chance on a love that burns on enough to last. But when the night calls, my lonely heart calls. My lonely heart calls. Oh, I wanna dance with somebody. I wanna feel the heat with somebody. Yes, I wanna dance with somebody. With somebody who loves me. Who would hold me in his arms. I need a man to take a chance on a love that burns out enough to last. And when the night falls, the lonely heart calls. My lonely heart calls. Oh, I wanna dance with somebody. I wanna feel the heat with somebody. Yes, I wanna dance with somebody. With somebody who loves me.
Whoa, ladies and gentlemen, Ben Moana with a very cool cover of a Whitney Houston song.
Yeah.
And we're going to have plenty more of his music and lots of community information. And we're going to even come back to Jim Celovich, and he's going to give us some entertainment and maybe make us laugh a little. At least it's going to make me laugh. And we will be back right after this. Right after I click this little thing, if I can find my mouse, and here we go. And that did nothing. Nothing. I have nothing. Nothing. There's my Whitney.
There's your Whitney. I love that.
Yeah, I know. Not my thing, that's for sure. And we are still. All right, guess what? You can play chord for like 15 seconds while we go into this break because I can't figure out the darn button.
You're listening to AM 1050 WLIP Kenosha. Streaming live at WLIP.com. At WLIP, we're working together to bring you the latest on COVID-19 coronavirus from government officials.
We can sit here and speculate all we want as to is this really a problem for everyone or not, or how this is going to work. The reality is, though, you don't want to take that chance. You don't need a run on the hospital.
I think the real key for me is to make sure that we're getting relief to where it's most needed, rather than maybe every single person, regardless of whether or not they're in need. But those conversations are ongoing.
COVID-19 in Kenosha. Stay informed with AM 1050 WLIP, WLIP.com, and follow AM 1050 WLIP on Facebook and Twitter.
Steven.
Who said that?
Me, down here.
Ugh, what are you, a yellow booger?
I'm a banana slug, Steven.
What are you doing in my room?
I'm your sense of adventure. It's been a long time since we've had an adventure in the forest.
Mom took me to the forest last year.
I'm a slug, Steven. It took me a long time to get here.
You're right. I should get out.
Yeah, the forest is not that far away.
Hey, Mom!
Come to the forest where the more adventurous you lives. Check out discovertheforest.org for cool places nearby. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Are you looking for the hottest places to have a dinner date or the coolest places to grab a drink and appetizers with friends? Well, 262 Eats has it all. 262 Eats is a local food show that features the best the area has to offer. Watch Ralph Nudi as he samples the food, interviews the owners, and takes you inside and behind the scenes of the favorite places of locals and travelers alike. Be sure to like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel to win prizes, gift certificates, and get special discount offers. That's 262 Eats.
Hi everyone, this is Louis Cito here to let you know that SJ Crystal's Menswear is open for business. Well, maybe open isn't the right word. How about available? Temporarily, we're unable to open our doors for regular business hours. So for your convenience, you can now make an appointment for a personal in-store shopping experience with either Shad or myself. Just head to sjcrystals.com, pick a day and a time that works for you, and one of us will be there. And just like alterations, no extra charge. Of course, you can also browse our website, follow us on Facebook, call with any questions, and we can ship out whatever you need. Finally, from our family to yours, our hearts go out to everyone whose lives are disrupted. Fortunately, we're a very strong community, and we will overcome this difficult time. And as always,
For the finest in men's fashions, it's clearly S.J. Crystals.
please stay healthy, everyone.
Hi, this is Paul from Francetic Tax Resolution. I also prepare regular tax returns for individuals and businesses. When someone hires a tax preparer, sometimes it all comes down to price. When a business has a bottom line to protect, they may go with the lowest quote, then hope it's a quality return prepared correctly. They just look at it as a necessary evil. They want the cheapest price, they want it done now, and if it's messed up and the IRS comes calling with audits, penalties, and interest, they'll probably blame whoever they hired to prepare the return. Nobody wants that. Whether you've already dug yourself a hole, suspect you might have, or just want someone with a fresh perspective, give me a call. You'll get an experienced professional that keeps up with all current tax laws and regulations. My fees are reasonable, and I don't take shortcuts. The last thing you want is a bullseye on your back, with the IRS holding all the arrows, and they could be sharp ones.
Don't get frantic. Get Francetic.
Francetic Tax Resolution, Accounting, and Tax Service. And if you like, I'll come to you.
Go to 2.
Soon, it'll be summer. Well, maybe not the summer you previously imagined, but you still have plans. It's time to move forward, set goals, and think about what you want to accomplish. Summer is all about the degrees. Get yours sooner by taking classes at the College of Lake County. Or maybe it's even time to start a new career. There are hundreds of options for everyone, including online courses, because learning never stops. For more information and to enroll today, visit clcillinois.edu.
Putting this off.
Okay, I'll clean the gutters.
I'm talking about your dad.
Well, what can we do? He wants to stay in his house.
We can make his house safer.
Yeah, I worry about the steps.
Perfect world, there are no steps, but he does have steps. And that banister only goes halfway up. And all those little throw rugs are falls waiting to happen.
So what about his prescription meds? If he forgets and takes them twice, he could get really dizzy.
Right. We could get him one of those daily pill counters. And he should have some sturdy hand grips in the bathroom and shower. This is all easy to do.
You know he's a proud guy. He's not going to take all our fussing lying down.
That's the idea.
For older people, falling and breaking a hip can be devastating. For more tips on making home safer, visit orthoinfo.org/falls. A message from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons and the Orthopedic Trauma Association.
Now please, clean the gutters. Just be careful on the ladder.
This Monday morning, Wake Up Kenosha with Bill and Pete.
We'll be joined by State Senator Bob Wirch, the latest news coming out of Madison. Our tax guy is Paul Francetic at 262tax.com. We'll catch up with him. Steve Casey back with One Man's Opinion. Plus, we'll get you caught up on all of the headlines of the day, the weather forecast, and any other information you need to get going on a Monday.
Wake Up Kenosha with Bill and Pete from 5 to 8 a.m. Live and local. AM 1050 WLIP. AM 1050 WLIP, Kenosha County Radar Weather. Brought to you by
Good Value Pharmacy, offering free local delivery. 3 locations in Kenosha and now open in Racine. GoodValueRx.com.
Hey, Dr. Phil here. I help people solve difficult and trying personal problems every day on my TV show, but there's one problem that's just got me stumped: childhood hunger. Nearly 16 million children in America struggle with it. That's 1 in 5 kids who may not know where their next meal is coming from, despite the fact that there's more than enough healthy, nutritious food out there to feed them all. Now, I don't know about you, but that is unacceptable to me. Luckily, the Feeding America network of good people is out there collecting surplus food and giving hope to hungry children and their families at local food banks all across the country. But let's face it, they can't do it without your help. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Tonight, mostly clear with a low of around 32. Monday, mostly sunny with a 20% chance of showers in the afternoon and a high near 56. Monday night, partly cloudy. Slight chance for rain late in the evening. And then Tuesday, sunny with a high near 48. Weather twice an hour when severe weather strikes on Kenosha's radio station, AM 1050 WLIP.
This is not a drill.
This is real.
Get real.
Get real with Ralph.
You are listening to Get Real with Ralph. Get Real with Ralph.
On AM 1050 WLIP.
Ralph Nudi, you're listening to Get Real with Ralph, and we got a little Prince rolling in the background. This song came out on this day in 19... Bada-ba-boom. What year was it, Jimmy?
I'm just laughing at your outro of that song. That's beautiful. Rolling out some Prince back in 1986.
1986.
this date in '86. He had 2 top 10 songs, Manic Monday and Kiss, which, by the way, I kind of like.
I love the
really
Tom Jones
awesome.
version of this song. I
Yeah.
don't actually like it. I
Yeah.
just love to make fun of it. But it is.
Oh no, it's no. Come on, dude. Tom Jones is wonderful, dude.
What's new, Pussycat? Huh?
Not much. It's on day 30. Day 30 of quarantine, self-quarantine type of isolation, which basically just breaks down to I don't have a job and I don't have money to spend to go anywhere anyways.
And we'll have to ask Ben if he knows how to sing "Don't Worry, Be Happy." Ain't got no job, ain't got no style.
Yeah, well, I got money to pay the rent though.
That's good.
So how things are going good, man. Just kind of just chilling out, which we do during this time.
Sure.
And I won a caption contest at Comedy on State in Madison. They have this thing online where you can write down your best caption to this, whatever the picture was.
What did you caption?
So, well, okay, the picture is, and maybe we'll put it up on your website later.
Absolutely. Well, as a matter of fact, if you screen share it, we'll put it right on the live feed. That's
yeah, I can't do that.
Facebook.com/Ralph Nudi. And you guys, if
Right,
you're listening,
right.
tune in there and hit the share button.
Yeah, that's yeah, do that, but it's not coming up real quick because I can't do that.
You got to go digging for it, huh?
That fast. Well, I ain't that fast. Plus, my train of thought, forget it. What was I talking about? So it had a little girl's birthday party with one girl with her face in a cake. So mine was, it's a celebration of Julie's 10th birthday. It's a celebration of Julie's 10 years and narcolepsy. So, with the face in the cake. And it worked out. So that's what happened. And so I won 4 free tickets to Comedy on State in Madison. So maybe when this thing lifts, hopefully it'll be by July. I can go to Madison, but I'm going to trade it to do some time up on there.
It's gonna lift by July. I have confidence it's gonna lift by June.
Hey, as long as my Hall & Notes, I can use my Hall & Notes tickets. That's the main thing right there. July 26th in Milwaukee. I got some sweet Hall & Notes tickets.
Got some.
Ben, Ben, you like some Hall & Notes?
You know what? I don't know what those are.
Hall & Oates?
I do not know what Hall & Notes are.
Daryl Hall and John Oates.
That's all right. We'll that's some homework for you, Ben. You
Yes,
sound great,
please.
by the way, man.
Thank you very
sound
much.
Great, brother. I really, really enjoyed your music. You've been on my radar for a while. I talked to Ralph. Ralph can vouch for this. Like, we gotta get Ben in here. I hear
Absolutely.
so much about this guy. I've seen you play before, and I'm just sorry I can't be there to shake your hand right now because I really enjoy your music, Ben.
Well, thank you very much.
I was here right with him, and I still wouldn't shake his hand.
Yeah, we still haven't shaken hands, so it's all good.
We did the greeting. It's such a weird thing to be in this culture where you're not shaking hands when you've been taught your whole life that that's the polite thing to do.
Yeah, I gotta do the elbow thing. I think I've elbowed so many people, and
Or you just wait. Well, now I got to stand 6 feet apart, and my elbow isn't. I don't have that long of arms, so I just wave my elbow at people as a gesture.
I mean, what can you do? You can't spit on them. I mean, that's not right.
That's
either.
no, that's not right. That would defeat the purpose. There.
I think we should just all start saluting each other like in the service like that.
But I would be impressed if anyone could spit 6 feet. That's impressive. That is impressive.
Isn't there an animal that spits 6 feet that it uses it as a defense? I'm trying to think what animal
like
that
a
is.
cobra. Cobra can spit pretty far.
Cobra, yeah.
Do they have cobras in Uganda?
Yes, they do.
Oh,
100% they do.
Scary.
I mean, they have tarantulas in Australia, so that's even worse.
Tarantulas don't scare me as bad as cobras. A tarantula's not going to kill you.
I don't know.
I mean, first of all, it has to catch you.
That is true, but so does a cobra.
Yeah, but when that hook comes out, man, no. And I'm not scared of snakes in general or spiders in general. I'm not one of those phobic people. Like if I saw just a common snake, slithering along, I wouldn't think much of it. I've seen water moccasins. I've seen rattlesnakes, and those scare me a little bit.
Okay.
But cobras.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of snakes at all.
So did you just, when you were a kid, did you just go like running out in the I don't want to say or in the
no, not at all.
No, you lived in a town.
No, actually, you know what? I had a pet leopard at some point, and
pet leopard?
Yeah, it was
Could it
pretty
hear?
amazing.
Could it hear, or was it a deaf leopard?
What was that? That is good.
I've been cooped up for like 30 days, man.
I'm also absolutely joking with you.
Yeah,
I did not have a leopard. No.
You didn't have a pet leopard?
No, I was just joking with you.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
That's
well,
good.
You have
in
me.
case you're wondering.
I mean, they just had the Leopard King.
Maybe.
It could be.
No, I didn't.
Have you watched the Tiger King?
You know, I watched the first episode, and it just felt like I wasn't gonna make it, and it felt like it was gonna make the quarantine much longer. So I left it alone.
I watched the first 10 minutes of the first episode just so that I could
do it.
Just so I could speak from a position of authority if anybody brought it up, that I could tell you it was one of the worst pieces of.
I so can't do it, man. I've been watching a lot of TV though. Believe me, I've been watching a lot of TV, a lot of documentaries. I think people should really take this time so much. Okay, yeah, we're going to turn our minds off and say watch TV or watch movies, things as such. But I think we really need to start educating ourselves as well. Take this time to look at documentaries. Take this time to fact check. Take this time to look further into what's going on and be more educated. So when we come out of this, we know better.
My wife and I watched a documentary on the bubonic plague the other night, which, I mean, talk about
good.
getting a dose of reality.
I won't watch those. Those I won't watch.
So we're getting a dose of reality on top of our reality, because that happened in the Middle Ages where there wasn't, they didn't have Netflix back then.
The whole thing, with people watching a lot of TV, people are going online. And what are they watching online besides this great show and other great musicians and great people doing it? What's the most thing watched online?
Well, I know probably pornography.
It's pornography.
Yeah.
I watched a great. I'm being serious too. I watched a great. It was a festival-winning documentary on pornography. What's going on nowadays? It's called Pornocracy, and it's
all
such
about the money.
Look about them. It's not so much the money, but who owns. I mean, they own all the Pornhubs and all the different things, owned by one person, by one company, and these are tubes, and nobody in the industry is making any money anymore because it's all free. They're taking all this thing and they're just putting it right on.
Well, yeah, finally people aren't paying for something that they could just probably do on their own with their loved one.
They do on their own when they do on their own. But but that's just the thing. I mean, it's very shady, very obviously.
It's just a dirty industry.
It's a dirty industry. But it is an industry, and it is legal. To make those, what I understand, I mean, that goes back to the sex workers. Of course, they get the worst of the worst. But but what about your dancers, as far as the strippers? And I mean, I don't want to get all way into this, but there's a point to be made there that they're kind of tossed in, because when you hear the word sex worker, what do you think of? You always think of the worst and everything that we've been working together on,
right?
To combat it, right? There's that part of it, So a lot of these dancers and things as such are college kids putting themselves through college or doing what they can do. I mean, it's a legal job, but now they're not getting anything out of what's happening with the pandemic and things as such.
Jim, I'm surprised that you really believe they're putting themselves through college still.
I've been cooped up for 30 days.
That's what he'll do to you.
No, but it's I've been some guy for a long time. I mean, I've met a lot of dancers in my day. They knew me by my first name, and I knew them by their first name. Their real first name,
Luca, and she lived on the second floor.
No, but there's different types of things.
Ben's trying to figure that song out right now.
I love it. I love it. Let's do it.
You know he is, aren't you, Ben?
Maybe.
You know what we're talking about, right?
No, I do not.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna corrupt this poor man. He's only been in this country for how many years?
I'm gonna make 10 years soon. I think I actually just made 10 years not too long ago.
We got right here. We're gonna corrupt him right now, Jim.
What do we corrupt him with? I can't see what's happening.
He's playing a song here.
I would love to be an influencer, but I'm not the type of influencer. Or am I? I've been cooped up for 30 days.
Now I'm gonna play that song in my car all the way home just to learn it.
This is for Jim.
I live on the second floor.
Miss Luca who lives on the second floor.
Yes, I think you've seen me before.
I can't hear it.
If you hear something late at night, some kind of troublesome kind, don't ask me what it was. Just don't ask me what it was. Just don't ask me what it was. I think it's 'cause I'm clumsy. I try not to talk too loud.
What's that? What's that?
Maybe it's because I'm crazy. I try not to act too
That's a little bit of Luca there for
with the kid who was that's kind of
Suzanne Vega.
dark. That's kind of dark, man.
That is kind of dark.
That's a dark song. I like her other one. Do 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 Tom's Diner.
With that, we better have Ben roll out a song here just to get that taste out of our mouth. It's kind of like when you ate something that doesn't taste good, so you got to like get the next course and then start eating it right away. So with that, Ben, what are you going to give us, man?
Yeah, this next song is actually called "Stupid Love." After this, I always call it "This Madness." After this madness is over, I shot a music video of this song with some really good friends of mine. Some actually watching here, Danny and Emily, and really just some really cool guys came to be a part of the music video. And hopefully, once all this is over, we'll be able to release it and have a release party that I hope you guys attend as well. Yeah, it'll be really cool. But the song is called "Stupid Love." I wrote it last year after playing my favorite game in the world, Assassin's Creed. Is my favorite game in the world, and it's just a story. It didn't happen.
Just say that again. Say Assassin's Creed one more time with your accent, because it's very cool sounding.
Assassin's Creed.
All right. Go ahead.
Okay. And so yeah, it's just a story. It didn't happen. There's one time after a show, someone asked me, "Did that really happen?" And I'll play the song first for you, and then you figure out what the person was asking me, if it actually happened or didn't happen. So this is "Stupid Love." Hope you like it. Honey, now I must go. You see the village on fire, and the flames in my fault. Yeah, honey, I left my candle on, right on the bedside table, when I locked the door. And baby, love blinded me. It caused a burning desire that ran to my feet. And darling, it cost me all I own. But lying here with you, baby, is worth the suit and smoke. Oh no. Hey, honey, I should go. My clothes are not on the wire, 'cause I left them too long. And baby, love messed with me as I lost my whole attire, but the shoes on my feet. And darling, that's all I own. But lying here with you, baby, is worth the wind and cold. Oh no, honey,
should leave, yes. You see, the wrath of Messiah will send me to my knees. Baby, the last of me, yes. So please say that you love me, 'cause that's all I need. And darling, say you love me, yes. Then that swing at the gallows be worth everything. Be worth everything, yes. I think I'm in love, baby. I'm in love with you. I think I'm in love, darling. Stupid love, love. I think I'm in love, yes. I think I'm in love. Stupid love, love, love. I'm in love, darling. Stupid love.
Whew, Ben Moana, everybody. Back after this.
At WLIP, we're working together to bring you the latest on
Thank you very much.
COVID-19
I'd
coronavirus from government officials.
You know, it's really hard to link much of anything. They are spanning all races and all ages. And so whereas initially we were very concerned, and we still very much are, with the over 60 population or anyone with a pre-existing health condition, but we're definitely seeing people in all ages and without conditions. That's where we just all have to be vigilant.
COVID-19 in Kenosha. Stay informed with AM 1050 WLIP, WLIP.com, and follow AM 1050 WLIP on Facebook and Twitter.
Are you looking for the hottest places to have a dinner date or the coolest places to grab a drink and appetizers with friends? Well, 262 Eats has it all. 262 Eats is a local food show that features the best the area has to offer. Watch Ralph Nudi as he samples the food, interviews the owners, and takes you inside and behind the scenes of the favorite places of locals and travelers alike. Be sure to like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel to win prizes, gift certificates, and get special discount offers. That's 262 Eats.
Wash your hands, avoid sick people, and touching your face. There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. Brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Whether you're at home or working on the front lines, thank you for listening to AM 1050 WLIP.
Think your child might have swallowed the wrong medication, gotten into your household products, had a reaction to a bite or a sting? Call the Poison Helpline first for fast, free advice from medical professionals. Call 1-800-222-1222 anytime, anywhere. Save the number, save a life. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
AM 1050 WLIP, Kenosha County Radar Weather. Brought to you by
Francenic Tax Resolution. Don't get frantic, get Francenic. Delinquent taxes, bank levies, payroll tax issues? Go to 262.
Hannah complained of a headache. It was a rhabdomyosarcoma. Within a few days, Hannah was in treatment because we were told that the tumor was very aggressive. And it very quickly became clear that St. Jude was the ultimate place to be. So we've essentially put our lives in South Africa on hold. Incredibly blessed to be here. St. Jude is an asset to the world. The research that is developed here is offered freely to the rest of the medical world. The entire way that the place operates is just to give and to care. I think it's the kind of place that not only stands as a beacon for pediatric cancer, but I think it could teach the world a couple of lessons about how to treat people. And I think if those lessons could be learned, even in their most basic form, this world could be a better place.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Tonight, mostly clear with a low of around 32. Monday, mostly sunny with a 20% chance in the afternoon and a high near 56. Monday night, partly cloudy with a slight chance for rain late in the evening. And then Tuesday, sunny with a high near 48. Weather twice an hour when severe weather strikes on Kenosha's radio station, AM 1050 WLIP.
not a drill.
This is real.
Get real.
Get real with Ralph.
You are listening to Get Real with
On AM 1050 WLIP.
And we're back on AM 1050 WLIP, Get Real with Ralph, your host, Ralph Nudi, in the studio with Ben Moana, who has been playing some of his awesome music for us. And, of course, we have via Zoom, Jim Celovich, co-hosting from afar.
Zoom. From beautiful Kenosha, Wisconsin.
From Kenosha. So we were on both sides of the state line at the same time. We got one host on
That's
one
right.
side and one on the other.
The cheese curtain, the state line.
We're in Wisconsin
big,
and Illinois. We should change our call sign to WII. Oh, there already is a station that does that.
That's already taken.
That's already taken. Darn it.
Wow. How you guys doing? Awesome.
We're doing awesome.
Awesome.
Ben, you're hot. How you doing over there?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
Did you say he's hot?
His mic is hot.
I don't know, man. Hey, that's okay, man. It's okay, Ralph.
I don't pass judgment. I just don't swing that way.
Hey, I would probably say the same thing if I was in the studio. I'm just watching from afar, though. So.
Well, I appreciate that.
Well, that's the cool thing about music is you can enjoy it from close or from afar as long as you've got good sound, which is
good social distancing there.
Yep. That's the most important piece. So many cool social distancing concerts going on all over the place with some of the big super groups as well as a lot of local music.
Right.
You know, the interesting thing about this whole stay home thing is the earth has become much flatter. The playing field has become much flatter for artists. Think about this. You have the same amount of technology and the same amount of ability to get exposure as Elton John.
Right.
Probably more because he did that whole iHeart radio thing, and the guy couldn't even figure out how to play music online, so he just hosted it.
Oh, no.
But, yeah, well, I mean, he's old. What do you expect?
Yeah. No, it's been actually interesting that you say that because, yes, it has, to a certain extent, brought, like, a lot of opportunities to musicians that haven't gotten that exposure or gotten the chance to play at a live venue or go anywhere to show off their stuff. And so it's been a really, really cool platform with all the different, like having us on the radio here and going live on Facebook and Instagram has really been awesome in a way. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, people are home and they're clamoring for something new and fresh and good entertainment. And have you been doing some live stuff from your house?
Yeah, I did I'm so sorry. What was that?
That was a good question. I was about to ask that question. Stay out of my head, Ralph.
Yeah, no, it's I have done a few live ones. I did one with So Far Baltimore, where they did a story takeover, and you basically just log into their if you don't know what So Far Baltimore is So Far Sounds section, Baltimore section. And so they did a takeover, and I was on their Instagram all day long, just posting stories, posting songs, posting little comments here and there, and so that was really cool. And then I did one with Time Out Market Chicago, which was really, really cool. I was able to sit with them and send some music their way. A couple ones, yeah, but I've done about 3, and it's been really, really fun.
Yeah, we've got our green room series that we do as well, and we'll have to try and get you in there as well.
I got a question for Ben, if I may.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, hey Ben, how has your writing changed during this pandemic? Obviously, it's changed. I mean, all our thoughts and all our feelings have changed since, obviously, because of this pandemic. How has that changed? Are you writing at all during this time, and how is that changing or what you're writing?
Yeah, had a project in mind before the world, quote unquote, ended. It didn't end, but it kind of feels like it. But I had an idea in mind of something that I wanted to do as a next project, and so this isolation and social distancing that has allowed me that time to write. And the project that's coming up is a little bit different from the very first one that I released last year, in that I'm going to do, I don't want to give too much about everything away, but I'm going to do pretty much all the instrumentation on it. So it's allowed me some time to sit with a different instrument every day and get familiar with it, get very, very comfortable with it. And so, yes, I am still writing, but a lot of the songs are going to be from, different instruments
Right.
as a root.
That's kind of the thing. I mean, as artists, you have more time to explore.
Yeah.
And to pick up another instrument.
That is right.
As a comic and writer myself, I'm spending all this time. Like, what am I doing with my time? I gotta write. I gotta do something, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you have to do something to keep it going, because But now you have time to actually sit down and do it.
And it's difficult though. It's not. It sounds straightforward, but it's not as straightforward as it sounds, because I'm sure as a writer as well, you can identify. Sometimes you get inspiration from just moving around, getting out of the house and going somewhere.
Exactly. I mean, I would say for the first few weeks, I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, okay, I got to adapt to this. I can't go out and do this. I can't do an open mic or be in a show or something.
Right.
So I'm just kind of like, well, what am I doing? I have to do, at first couple of weeks was that way for me. I just had zero, going on up here from, yeah, you're right. You just can't sit down and write. You're just
That's
I'm
right.
going to sit down, I'm going to write this great song, or this sketch is going to be great because I'm going to sit down and I'm going to write it.
Yeah, and even,
yes.
so funny thing, you just said that, plug like open mics here in Kenosha, a very important thing. And
Absolutely.
it's really cool to, when you have like a new idea and you really just want to test it out or something like that, it's a good place, you want to go, and maybe you don't know anyone, maybe you know some people, but you try out a new song to see how it goes. But hey, here we are now. You can't really.
Well, that's the thing, and if you listened before, but Ralph can attest to this. I mean, I've been saying, I'm so curious and kind of excited what's going to come out artistically from all this, when everyone has their time to go down different avenues, try different things, like you're learning to play more music and more instruments, and just I'm very interested in see what how the movie's going to look, how books are going to read, obviously music, what music's going to sound like when this is all done.
Absolutely. Anytime we have a major shift in the mood of the country or the events, you have a shift in our arts.
That's right.
Absolutely. Let's hear another tune. What you got?
All right. We'll play this one. This one is a favorite one of mine. It's a single I just released. I released in around November, and it's called "Lies of the Devil." It was written from a place of processing feelings. I had gone through quite an interesting relationship that you could probably tell from the song, what the relationship, how it ended or how it went through. And so I wrote a song from it. The song is called Lies of the Devil, and I hope you guys like it.
Sweet.
All right.
Here he is.
Let me down for the last time. The fears in my heart, I say never mind. Now I see right through the lies of the devil, and I'm not gonna chase this time. Oh no, no, no. Oh. First off, I'm not that gullible, baby. I know that you've been around. The preacher read the good news to me, said the truth was gonna set us free. The line was just for me, yours was Julie. Oh, so I found your calendar, baby. 30 dates and none of them are mine. You should have heard what the lover said. The truth has been there all this time. Their love is blind, yes. Their love is blind. Their love is blind. Oh no, no. I got wolves in chains. So if you're close, they're gonna find you. You and Jody better run. Cause when I come, I swear to God, I'm bringing fire. So when I come, I swear to God, I'm bringing fire. So when I come, I swear to God, I'm bringing fire. Yes. Oh no. This time I wrote your eulogy, baby. 2 graves and one of them is mine. Should have heard what your lover said. The truth has been there all this time. You should have run when you had the time. But you're out of time, darling. You're out of time. No. You told the lies of the devil. You told the lies of the devil, baby. You've been lying to me. You've been lying. You told the lies of the devil, baby. You've been lying to me. You've been lying to me. Oh.
That is
That's
good.
That's the good stuff, baby. That's the good stuff right there.
Love that. Love that.
Thank you.
Dark song.
Nice.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, okay, so a couple times I've been asked, like, man, yo, that sounds like some crazy stuff happened. It's not. Nothing that crazy happened, but it's maybe I'm a little bit too extra of a person. My wife loves to tell me that, like, sometimes you can be a little bit extra, so. So that's kind of where that stems from a little bit, but
all artists are a little bit extra. That's how we get there.
You have to be.
Absolutely.
You have to be. And so I think part of it too, I wrote that song really late, later on, than the relationship happened. But I think in that song I learned to be confident in my feelings, to trust my feelings. Like, if that's how you're feeling, that's how you're feeling. You can't change that. And so you can.
Yeah, as soon as you open that door.
That's right. Yeah. You can either ignore it or trust it.
It's opened up another channel in your mind.
That's right. Yeah.
You know, and it's more of you that you're putting into your art as well, and that's being honest with yourself, and that's bringing something, some kind of little deep, But yeah, I mean, but that's part of the expression, right?
That's right. 100%.
Jim and I have had probably 50 different musical guests now over the course of the last year, 45, and we've had some repeats. And
yeah,
it's
the ones we like really a lot.
Yeah, exactly. So it's great to hear the behind the music, the behind the scenes stuff that goes on in people's minds, and I feel like every week we learned a little bit more about the creative process because we talked to so many different creative people and how they got exposed to music. Like you saying that it was all about a girl at 16 years old. She said she liked a guy that plays the guitar, and there you are playing the guitar. But then at a certain point, your love for the music itself takes hold, which
100%. And I think that's you live and you learn. But I think that I really liked what I learned out of this particular experience of, like, not even ending up with person I learned the guitar for, but the love for music just became so intense for me in high school. Towards the end of high school, it became something I almost couldn't live without, and so it was one of those things where I'm like, okay, yeah, it didn't work out with this one person, but do I like playing guitar? Do I really like? And started playing with like John Mayer. I'll play you the song next to it. When we play next, I'll play you the song I played for this girl, and it was completely the wrong song. I should not have picked that song.
It was a John Mayer song.
Yeah, it was, and you can already know how that was going to end. But hindsight's 2020. I didn't know that at the time. But yeah, and so it's been one of those things that music became just the biggest thing.
Hey, Ralph, do we have a break coming up at all or no?
No, we don't. We go all the way to the end. We got 15 minutes.
Sounds good. I just want to make sure.
I got that out of the way nice and quick because I knew we wanted lots of Ben here.
Just want to make sure, buddy.
Falling in love with the music is such a cool thing. Do you remember the first artist that you fell in love with their music?
It was John Mayer.
It was John
Mayer.
Oh.
It was him because of I think a lot of the artists at that point that I had listened to, their kind of on stage presence and stuff was not as raw as his, I should say.
I tell you, Mayer is one heck of a blues guitarist.
100%, yeah.
Oh my God, I was at Summerfest one time. Buddy Guy was playing, and Mayer was playing on the main stage, and Mayer jumped in a van. They took him, to the side stage where Buddy Guy was playing. He jumped up there and just cooked, man.
Oh yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing blues player.
Yeah, and when he plays, I mean, you can really like tell like he's super into it. But it was him. People like Need to Breathe. I don't know if you know the band Need to Breathe, but they are a southern classic rock band. They played some songs that really just spoke to me, and a lot of like even my faith I poured into music, and it was something that we grew up around. My families are all singers, and so we listen to music all the time. I just didn't really care to play or care to really explore it until this one moment where this girl is like, "Hey, I really like guitar players." So I'm like, "All right, challenge accepted."
Do you feel like the music scene is changing rapidly in this country all of a sudden?
Yeah, and it has to. I think it is changing. I think it's going to change.
It's always changing.
Yeah,
it's always changing in some aspect. It's
100%. Yeah, and it has to. And I think depending on who you are, or what opinion you have, it's getting better or it's getting worse. I don't know. I'm gonna leave that to everyone's opinion. Is everyone's opinion.
What I've noticed is a resurgence of people playing instruments again, though.
100. But I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, we're getting away from the electronic and the hip hop and getting into some more soulful music. And for a while there, it almost seemed like it was a art of the past.
Yeah.
And within the past couple of years, we've seen in mainstream music again,
Well,
artists that are playing their own instruments.
Right, they have to play their own instruments, and that's where music in schools is so important.
Yeah. Also kind of maybe an authenticity type thing, where if you see when you see someone play their own stuff, and a lot of these artists that are coming up now are the people that have been ghostwriters for such a long time. Then the singer-songwriter thing happened, and that was really, really big. Like, man, you can write songs and you can actually sing your songs, and you can only do that really if you're playing actual instruments. And so that became really a thing. And so maybe that kind of what started the turnaround, to people playing their own stuff all the time.
But I'm not seeing it being as monolithic either. For the longest time, you didn't have as much diversity in the singer-songwriter space. And suddenly you're seeing a lot more of that. And I think that it is really making the space much more interesting and much more artistic than it was 10 years ago.
And having music that more enjoyable too.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's just what it is. I mean, you can have, I don't want to call any music a fad. I mean, but there are different types of music. Either they stick or they don't. It's just a matter of what's being presented to them.
Yeah.
What's being promoted.
I play.
Where's the money? Then we start following the money. You know where that goes.
Absolutely.
Right.
But the money's trending toward people like you, towards this style of music, and I think
let's hope so.
That's a great thing. Last week I played, or the week before, the Black Panthers, which I had never heard of a year ago,
Pumas.
And they ended up getting a Grammy. I'm sorry, Black Pumas. They ended up getting totally apples and oranges.
Totally different group.
Yeah, totally different group. The Black Pumas.
Good music.
And they got a Grammy nomination for best They did a private show last week, sponsored by Fender and Gibson on YouTube, and I'm watching this guy play, and I'm listening to them as a group sing, and I'm thinking this is mainstream. This is mainstream music again. Right. This style of music, and I'm very, very pleased, and I think a lot of people are pleased, and I'm hoping that our youth, our kids, are listening to it and liking it too, instead of thinking this is just a bunch of music that old people listen to. Yeah, so that's a fantastic thing, and that goes back to what Jim said. Music in the schools is going to keep
100%.
Absolutely.
I think I like where it's going, and I hope it does keep going that way.
Well, let's hear that John Mayer cover.
Yeah.
All right. Little more Ben here, guys.
I'll just put yourself in the mindset first, right? This girl tells you, I really like guitar players. You're saying, okay, awesome. I'm gonna go home and learn a guitar. I'm gonna learn a song, and I'm gonna go play it for this girl that I hope she becomes my girlfriend, right? So keep that in mind as you listen to the song, I guess.
It's not a silly little moment. It's not a storm before the calm. It is the deep and dying breath of this love that we've been working on. Can't seem to hold you like I want to, so I could feel you in my arms. Nobody's gonna come and save you. Blown too many false alarms. We're going down, and you can see it too. We're going down, and you know that we're doomed. My dear, we're slow dancing in a burning room. Oh yes. And I was the one you always dreamed of. You are the one I tried to draw now. How dare you say it's nothing to me? Babe, you are the only light I ever saw. But I make the most of all the sadness. You be like that because you can. Oh, you try to hit me just to hurt me, so you leave me feeling dirty, but you can't understand. We're going down, and you can see it too. We're going down, and you know that we're doomed. We're going down, yes, and you can see it too. We're going down, and you know that we're doomed. My dear, we're slow dancing in a burning room. So go cry about it, why don't you? Go cry, go cry, go cry. My dear, we're slow dancing in a burning room. And my dear, we're slow dancing in a burning room.
Woo! Yeah! Jimmy Likey.
Thanks.
Awesome, man.
So it didn't work, huh?
No. Well, can you imagine with the first song like that?
She was like, "Yeah, that's a little too heavy for me, huh?"
Yeah, it's not gonna work. But yeah, and obviously, when you're first learning guitar, your hands really hurt, so you can't even hold the chords right, let alone sing the song. So.
Everybody's nervous when they're 16 and they got that heart pounding and they got that first crush on
your
on
fingers
the girl.
are sweating, your forehead sweating. You sing about dancing in a burning room, and yeah, that's not good.
So that was it. You never spoke again?
No, we did speak. She was awesome. She's a good friend. She's still a good friend of mine, and she still lives in Kenya. Hopefully, like maybe there's a couple people watching from around, but yeah.
From Kenya?
From Kenya, from Uganda. That's where my rest of my family is right now. I have a sister.
So you have family in Kenya and in Uganda?
I have some family in Kenya, yes. I have friends in Kenya. That's where I went to high school. He's in Uganda. Mother, father, and my sisters and brothers. Brother is there too. So yeah, hope they're maybe watching. Give a shout out to them.
Well, definitely give them a shout out.
Yeah.
And we actually have been picking up some international audience members online that are listening to the music more than anything else. I don't think they're listening to anything we have to say, but they seem to tune in when the music comes, and they've been sharing it.
What we have to say.
But it's so, that's again back to the world being flat and being able to share stuff on a level playing field. This is something that is unprecedented. You go back even as recent as 10 years ago, the music industry controlled the music industry.
Yeah,
and
now that's not the case at all. Someone can set up a webcam and control their own music business, and that's really cool, I think.
So where can people go to hear your music or buy your music at, Ben?
You can go to Spotify, any streaming service
Spotify?
music streaming service that you choose to use. YouTube, Spotify. You can do Amazon Music, Google Music. You can find those on there.
Okay.
And I do have a YouTube channel as well. I'm gonna be more active with it. I promise you that. And
Right.
then Instagram and Facebook, I'll be on there.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of that, aren't we? I mean, it's just a time for people to brand themselves more, during this pandemic, is, getting on, the social channels and things as such, get the stuff out there.
That's right. Yeah.
Man, I love your music, man. Fantastic.
Thank
I'd
you
like
very
to hear
much.
more of it. Very much. Very much.
If you tuned in late, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Ben Mulwana, Mulwana, and you can find him, as you said, anywhere. If you Google him, you can find a lot of cool stuff, a lot of live sets that he's done. If you look him up on YouTube, up in Milwaukee, southeastern Wisconsin area, and in the Chicago area as well. We've got about 4.5 minutes left, not quite. So I want to make sure that we give you time to get a full song in
Sure.
before we go to the top of the hour break. So what are you gonna drop in for us before we drop out?
This is a that's pretty good. This is the last song. This is One Now. It's one of my favorite songs. I hope it lifts your spirit as well if you're listening to it, especially in a time like this. It just talks about being here with you. It's a song I started writing when I went to just a public meeting with a coalition to end racism in Kenosha and Racine. And this song is actually inspired by a grandmother who showed up to represent her grandson who was being bullied at his school for the color of his skin. And she just showed up, obviously not the place to show up to address an immediate issue like that, but she just knew one thing, that she had to be there for her grandson. And so she showed up. And so we started writing this song that, it's not necessarily that you need to know where you need to go, but just be there for the people you love. This is One on Our Way.
Perfect. And we're going to sign off after this. So on behalf of Get Real with Ralph, this is Ralph
Bye,
Nudi
guys.
and Jim Celovich. We're
Bye.
going to end with Ben Mulwana.
Yeah, on day 37.
Have a great and safe night. Take it away, Ben.
Bye, Ben.
I've got blue in my blood, and I've got voices that wake me. And can you hear me? You can save me, only you. Got no sand in my eyes, so tell me, Dave, where is your cousin? And can you see me? You can save me, only you. And pull me up, and pull me up, 'cause my soul is getting heavy. And don't give up, don't let up, 'cause only you can reach me. So give it all that you've got, and be here with me, love. Just be here with me, love. Ndiwano, ndiwano, wano nawe. Ndiwano, I am kiss. Ndiwano, I am here, love. Wano nawe, I am here with you. So pull me up, 'cause my soul is getting heavy. And don't give up, it's only you can reach me, love. So give it all that you've got. Share the love that you've got. And be here with me.
You're listening to AM 10.